Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Lucas, and today we're going to be looking at how to do keyword research inside of Ahrefs. Now, many of you might know, Ahrefs is basically like an extensive tool where you can, do SEO research. You can find ways to improve your website's performance. So, if you, for example, are someone that sells microphones to a specific person, you can go into Ahrefs. You can look at your competitor's website, see what's going well, see what's not going well, and kind of, match that to your business. So if this sounds interesting for you guys, let's go ahead and dive in and get started with this. All right, so the big question to start off, right? There's one big question that we all need to know. And if you already have a business that's running, you probably have the answer, or you are at least, on a good path to figuring out the answer. But the question is, what is the problem, or what is the pain point that your business is trying to solve, right? You can have someone that is, confused as to, I don't know, it's Father's Day is coming. I don't know what to get my dad, right? So um, I wish there was some type of tool or something out there that would tell me what to get for my father. There can also be, I don't know, ladies that uh, need help with, I don't know, finding a good daycare for their little kids, right? You can even go a little bit more niche, like, for example, a teacher, university professor that teaches architectural history and needs a good way to kind of organize all of his notes in a timeline fashion, right? So they all these people have different questions, and your business is the one that is solving this, right? So it's just very important to identify which one of these which pain point, or what pain point, sorry, is the one that you're trying to solve. Now, for example, this tool rval.com is basically a digital product that helps people save time. So instead of them having to manually write down their content in their website, this is basically they provide an AI solution to help you generate this extensive content, sophisticated content with AI. So their pain point that they're trying to solve is this manual content creation, and they're basically solving this problem, right? But that comes to the next point. So the next point is, who is the person that we're trying to help, right? Who exactly is it that we're selling to, right? And we gave some examples over here, right? That we have different types of people in different types of situations, but it's best to kind of understand exactly who this person is and what are their what other types of pain points do they have, because they not only have this main pain point that we are trying to solve, but they probably have, right, we have this main question mark that's basically the one that we're trying to solve, but they also have other types of problems that probably go in tandem with this main pain point that they're trying to solve. So yeah, so we started off with what pain points are we trying to solve, right? Then we kind of need to know who we are selling to, or who are you selling to, and then these people that you're selling to have different other questions, right? So this leads us to our next question, which is, what exactly are they searching for, right? What exactly are they searching for? They not only have they kind of subconsciously know that they need this main problem that they're trying to solve, but they don't really know how to identify it properly, right? So they probably have different types of questions inside of their head, and they're just trying to, and these are different search points, right? They're, for example, searching in Google this question, they're searching in ChatGPT this question, they're searching again in Google this question, they're searching this question inside of YouTube, right? So they have different types of questions that they're trying to search based on this main pain point that they're trying to get solved. So for example, if we go back to this rval tool, people might be searching for things like how to how to generate AI, or they might search for best AI SEO writer, or how can I convert my YouTube video to a blog post on my website. They might also search for different types of competitors, right? Like Zim Rider or Draft Horse. And yeah, so basically all of these different questions are going to contain keywords inside of them, right? So for example, this keyword was going to be this SEO writer. This one is going to be the competitor name. This one is going to be something else, right? So these different keywords, these are just one question. This is just one question based on this one keyword, right? So this is keyword number 1, keyword number 2, keyword number 3, and keyword number 4. But in reality, if we have the different keywords over here, we could generate different types of questions based on these different keywords. And these keywords can be considered like main keywords. And then we have these questions that are basically like a, informational hub based on this one keyword, right? So for example, if this keyword is talking about the competitor, they can talk about competitor's performance. They can talk about a comparison between the competitor and another competitor. They can talk about what's missing from the competitor's tool, different types of other things, but with the same keyword here and here, right? So each one of these can have basically like a whole, informational hub based on just one of these main keywords, right? So then that's the next thing that we have to keep in mind. So once we know the pain point that we're trying to solve, we know who we're trying to sell to, we know their main, we know their pain points, but they're searching for different things, right? We have to make a list of these different things. I'm going to make this orange because these are different keywords, right? We have to make a list of keywords that they are searching for, right? Some are going to be smaller, some are going to be longer, some are going to be more valuable, some are going to be, they have a higher search volume, they have a higher buying intent. So, but the most important thing is just to make an initial list of keywords, right? And the best way to start is by using your brain. So don't use any tool, right? Because this is your business and no one knows your business as well as you do, right? So this is going to be you, right? And you have to start off with different keywords that you think are appropriate to start off with, right? And maybe let's say, okay, you started off with a list, but you don't really have a lot. Let's say that you have only like 10 keywords and you don't really know if they are good or not. So this is where Ahrefs comes in. So here, for example, we get this list, and once we go into Ahrefs, we basically have the plan to find other keywords, right? We have to find other types of keywords that we don't know about. And the best place to start is by looking at your competitors, right? Who's your competition and what's their website? Let's grab their website and let's bring it into Ahrefs. So let's say that we are Arval's competitor, right? So what we can do is we can add Arval's website over here, and we can go ahead and filter a specific time span, let's say like the last month. And since Arval is a pretty new domain, it used to be tryjournalistai.com. Since about a month ago they changed, but basically you can kind of see their organic traffic growing. And up here you can see that they have 1.7K 1.7K keywords, right? So organic search. And once you click on that, you can see all of their different keywords that they are using to, create content out of. So they have SEO writing AI, journalist AI, AI article writer, AI journalists, and so on and so forth. So over here on the right side, we have volume, we have traffic, we have paid, which is basically an estimation of the number of monthly visits that your target gets from paid search, which is all 0, which is really great. So this is all organic traffic that's coming to their website. Position, locations, top location, volume, traffic. And you can go ahead and click on one of these. So for example, we can click on AI blog writer. And once we go into a specific keyword, we can see that this keyword is informational. So the user is looking for information or an answer to a specific question. And it's commercial. The user is comparing products or services before making a purchase decision. So these are different types of, keyword categories that you want to look out for. It's very good. You want to, at the end of the day, sell something to your to the visitors, right? So if it's something commercial and something informational, that's really good for you. And then down here we have keyword difficulty, which gives an estimation of how hard it is to rank. So this one is pretty hard. It's 62. It has, not such a big search volume, 1.3K. You can kind of hover over these and see how many people search for this specific keyword per month. And then we have a traffic potential of 1.1K, which is the total amount of organic traffic that the #1 ranking page of your keyword target gets. So this is basically the #1 ranking page from the specific keyword target. And there's a value of 2.4K for this specific keyword, but it's very hard to rank for. What I really like about, this keyword page over here is that we have these keyword ideas over here. So we have other similar terms that match this main keyword. And we also have different questions that relate to this keyword. And we also have other keywords that rank for this specific, keyword idea, right? So for example, we have AI story generator that gets 81K in traffic, which is pretty large in comparison to that previous keyword. So 81K in search volume, that means that every month, and it's actually pretty much growing, I guess, with with AI, this keyword, or this specific keyword AI is pretty much growing with all this ChatGPT, Perplexity, and all of that. And there's a lower rating over here, so that means that these are one of these keywords that you want to get. It still says that it's pretty hard, but it's not as hard as the other one, and there's a pretty high search volume. So you want to kind of find that equilibrium between a low keyword difficulty and a high search volume, and use that keyword with those two, things, and generate content based on that. And how can you generate content based on that? You might be asking. Well, down here we have some good examples. What is the best AI story generator? What is the best free AI story generator? Which AI story generator is best for beginners, right? You can also add your brand name in there, or you can also combine with other keywords. Then we can go back to Ahrefs keyword list over here, and basically we can look for example, AI paragraph generator. It has 70K volume, and if we click on it, this one is medium, so it's actually much lower than the other ones, and you can see how the keyword difficulty has been, it's been going down. Now you can see it's kind of growing, and it has a pretty high, search volume over here. It's, growing because of this AI keyword, right? And all of these keywords that have this generator are, I would say a good type of keyword, because they, attract people that want to generate something. So if you find, for example, if someone wants to create a paragraph for free, right? For free paragraph generator, they're going to click for it and they're going to look for that solution in there. And that can be like a good first step to your paid product, right? You have a free type of generator, and basically someone can generate something for free, download it, and you can collect their email and basically add them to the funnel. You can also click on this little plus button and create a new list of keywords if you want to do that. And then basically the next step would be to create content based on these keywords, right? All right, and once you have that list ready, I think the best place to go and generate articles with these keywords is using Arval. And you can get started for free. You can get 3 free articles. And many of you might think that, since it's an AI SEO writer, you can use something like ChatGPT or something like Claude to help you write using AI. But Arval uses a system that creates sophisticated articles based on your keywords. It's super smart. You're going to see right now in a second how smart it is. And basically you can upload keywords and it can generate questions for you. So you don't have to think about these questions. It can generate other keywords for you based on these keywords that you added. And not only that, but it generates the full article for you. So it generates the introduction text, it generates the whole, full article for you. You can add internal links, external links that you want to add, or that, it can think for you by adding in your actual website sitemap, and it's completely editable. So if you, for example, find a paragraph or a specific sentence that you want to change in a certain way, you can just highlight it and change it, or you can just highlight it and use different AI commands to change that specific text. So let's go ahead into the dashboard, and I'm going to show you how this works. And basically we go in and we see, okay, we can generate an SEO article, we can generate a news article, an Amazon single product review. So based on an Amazon product that you might have, you can generate some type of product review about it, or you can do this YouTube to blog post uh, generation, right? So we're going to start off with SEO article. Let's click on that. And you might have a list, so you can import it like this, right? You can upload an Excel or a CSV file with the keyword being one column or keyword and title with the two columns. I prefer just to have just one column and upload it like that. But if we want to just manually add them, we can do that as well. So for example, we can copy this AI paragraph generator and put it like that. And we can enter a title if we wanted to kind of represent that keyword, but let's not do that for now. We can add other keywords. So we can do like author AI, for example. All right, so we have about 5 different keywords. We can add these keywords like this, and then basically the keywords get added into this campaign. I have like a default campaign that I use for all my different YouTube videos, so it doesn't get, unorganized. But basically I added it to my campaign, and we have the different keywords right down here at the very bottom. And then what we can do is we can select one of these. So let's select this AI paragraph generator, and we can go ahead and generate the article, and it just basically generates without any input. But I would recommend doing this first, clicking on this pen tool, and then we have this editor, right? So we can basically go and see the different details of, or basically see the different details about this specific article. We can add our own article title based on this keyword, or we can ask AI to generate it for us. So let's just do that. So AI is now generating the title. It takes about a couple of seconds. You can see crafting text made easy, exploring AI paragraph generators. Cool. If we don't like it, we can generate it again, right? And then we can include other types of keywords, right? So we can add, for example, this generate keywords, and now we have crafting words with AI, your go-to paragraph generator. Cool. So let's just keep it like that. And then we have other types of keywords that match this focus keyword. So automated content creation, AI writing tools, paragraph writing assistant, content generator software. Cool. We can add even more if we wanted to, but let's just go ahead and click on save changes and continue to the next one. And then this next one would basically be the outline of your blog post. So you can obviously do it manually, right? But the whole point of using Arval is to use AI to help you do this, right? So, and even if you're not an SEO expert, Arval helps you become an SEO expert based on these different step-by-step guides that you have to follow. So we have introduction to AI paragraph generators, how they work, benefits, time. Then we have different features. We have user reviews and testimonials, how to choose. So we're getting to like the end of the blog post, how to choose the right one, tips, common use cases, and conclusions. So the AI kind of knows the whole story of the or flow of the whole blog post, right? So once we're happy with that, we can save the changes. If not, we can go ahead and add or edit certain titles over here, and then we can go ahead to the content. So language, English, American. We can also choose other types of English, and there's a bunch of different languages if you want to do Italian or German. Target country, United States. Let's just leave it like that. Tone of voice, we can keep it neutral, sarcastic, informal. We can do something funny, for example. Point of view, third person, second person. I'm just gonna go and do first person plural. And formality, I'm just going to do informal. You can choose formal if you wanted to, if it's something more educational or something more, informational. You can also do some advanced options like give some context description of what you want the blog post to be about, custom instructions. We can also write like short and punchy phrases, right? Secondary languages, if we wanted to add Spanish as a secondary language, we can do that as well. Click on Save Changes. Then for the knowledge, we can click on Connect to Web, use knowledge base. So basically Connect to Web, they'll search on Google for similar topics to generate up-to-date content. For example, external links that are going to be inside of the blog. If you have a specific knowledge base, that's where you can add your website, you can add your competitors' websites, you can add different types of websites that you would like to add into the blog. You can connect that as well. And then formatting, let's just leave all of these on. Structure, you can add your call to action. So for example, if you had some specific webs or sites that has where basically the people can start the purchasing process, you can add that here. So in this case, I'm just going to add Arval's main website and go over here and paste this. Key takeaways, conclusion, FAQs, cool, let's just leave that. And then article size, we can make it medium. That sounds great. Internal linking, let's boost this up to 6. So links will be balanced between internal links and external links. So links per H2, so links per paragraph, I would say. We want to have something like 6. We want to have a high number. And then what we can do is we can add a sitemap of our website. So this can be used as a type of tool to basically, add internal links to this specific blog post. We can click on find sitemap if you don't want to do it manually, and let's just get this, paste this here, find, and the AI basically finds the sitemap and adds it there for you. So that's great. Let's click on save changes and move on to the next one, which is external linking. And then in external linking, we can manually add links that we want to add. So let's say that you have like some type of partner company that you want to add their links, or you have another company that you work with. I don't know. You can add a bunch of different external links by clicking here and basically adding the link, right? In this case, let's just leave it empty. We can include external sources. So only links from these websites will be included. Leave blank to include all websites. So if you want to only include specific websites, you can do that over here. And if you want to exclude external sources, like let's say competitors, right? That's a perfect use case. You can do that as well over here. Under images, you can add your own custom images by folder that you can basically upload over here. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add AI images, and basically that takes some credits off of your account, but the AI images are great. I'm going to show you now what you can basically generate them and then regenerate them. It's a very advanced tool. We can add a specific style for these AI images. So I'm going to write like 1940s comic style. Click on save changes. And then videos, we can just leave this on so that the AI can automatically find and include relevant YouTube videos. Or you can also add YouTube videos from your own channel if you had that as well. Highly recommended if you do that. And then once that's done, click on save changes, and then you can close this. And we go to our AI paragraph generator, click on generate article. All right, and once that's done, we can go ahead into generations over here, click on this AI paragraph generator, and we have 2 languages, right? Because we said English and Spanish. Crafting words with AI, creando palabras. So it's basically the same, content just translated into Spanish. And let's just click on the English one to see how this looks like. All right, and once we are in, we can go ahead and we see this preview, right? This article's read only, create a revision to edit. So if we click on edit with AI, we now have this editor mode. And the first things that you see, or the first things that I saw, was this 1940 comic artist and robot creating stories together, right? So we have the user craft stories, and we have this robot, which is pretty great, crafting words with AI, your go-to paragraph generator. So we have a meta description, we can add specific tags, we have the intro text over here, and we can, for example, select all of this, and we can add some external links if we wanted to, and then we can, select all of these and go out like this. So each one of these are going to have their own different type of, external link. And then what we can do is we can basically select certain things like this and rewrite them, we can make them longer, we can make them shorter, we can rewrite it, we can simplify it, we can turn it into a list, into a table. We can ask AI certain things about this text, ask AI to edit or generate. We can make, ask AI to make this funnier if we wanted to. This is just, a basic example of what we can do. And as we scroll down, you can see that we have different H2s as main category or main chapter titles, and then we have these H3s as the subcategories of this main category. We can see different external links and internal links here and there. different styling, like quotes, for example. And if you really read carefully, the content is really well done. It is not, doesn't seem AI generated at all, because usually when you generate a text with AI, you get a lot of these symbols, right? I see this a lot with AI, and you don't really get this a lot. You can also delete this if you wanted to, and you can, for example, approve certain things that the AI is, suggesting you to do. You can see different YouTube videos, you can see different images, and you can click on these images, and we can click on this little remix button up here, and we can reimagine these images. So we'll create an image that fits your article. So we can say add a green robot to this image, and then you can see we get this little robot. We can click on accept, and it basically replaces that if we wanted to. And we can, we have this similar style here and there. And then at the end, we have the conclusion with the call to action. So visit our website to learn more about how AI can help you write amazing context today. If you wanted to, make this in a separate sentence as a call to action, or kind of style this to be larger, you could do that as well. And then at the end, we have these FAQs, which also helps a lot with SEO, because these are basically different questions inside of your blog post that you're helping people answer, right? So, and most of these people are going to be asking these questions this article post. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you can just publish this article to your website, or you can just copy the text and add it manually, however you wanted to. But this is a great tool. Once you do that keyword research inside of Ahrefs, you can bring that over here and pump out content like that. All right, guys. So basically what we did today is we went through the whole timeline or strategy of finding keywords in Ahrefs by first identifying what pain point it is that you're trying to solve in the market, who it is that you're trying to sell to. Is it a woman with a child? Is it a policeman? Is it a university professor? Whoever it is, who is it that you're trying to sell to? And then basically, what are their main questions? Like what are their, they probably like subconsciously know their pain point exactly, but they don't really know how to formulate it. So they probably have different types of questions, in relation to that main pain point. So what exactly are they searching for, right? So you want to identify these different questions, and inside of these different questions, you get these different keywords, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then basically with each one of these keywords, you can find other similar keywords or questions in regards to these keywords. And then basically you start creating a list with your own head. Don't use any tools. And then what you can do is you can go to Ahrefs. So you can go to Ahrefs and basically search for different competitors and kind of brainstorm on their keywords and dive a little bit deeper. You can, dive a little bit deeper on what types of keywords have a high traffic, what type of search intent do they have, and so on and so forth. And then at the end, once you have that nice keyword list, you can go ahead and use Arval to create content and start posting that in your website, right? Different types of pages inside of your website to eventually increase from getting no visitors to gradually getting more and more throughout some certain months, right? So this is a long-term game, but it is very sustainable in terms of, you're growing an informational hub around your business, and, you're going to start getting sales eventually based off of these informational hubs that basically link to your call to action. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other types of questions, please feel free to write them down in the comments below. And if you want to visit Ahrefs or Arval, you can visit the links in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.